now welcome Robert McGibbon from Keep Our NHS Public. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Most of you will be disappointed that it isn't Wendy Savage here, but she has gone to look after a very dear friend of hers who is dying of cancer, and she wants to be with her, quite rightly so. So once a doctor, always a doctor. I'm a retired Camden GP, born before the NHS, trained in the NHS, worked in the NHS, and will die in the NHS if it still exists. I spent 40 years trying to develop better primary care services in various places here in Camden, but also in Norwich. So those are my credentials. So basically, I'm here really to publicise a really important coalition meeting on the NHS here on Saturday. And for those of you who don't know about it, then we will make sure you do. It's a really important meeting with a whole coalition of TUC people, and I'll come back to that in a minute. But I'd just like to say something about Keep Our NHS Public, which is why I'm here. And really to say that one of the strengths of Keep Our NHS Public are the local groups. And here in Camden, we've had a lot of success in being very local, very focused, and one of our strengths is that we can call meetings. We call meetings of well over 100 local residents on very specific issues, like the closure of a privatised GP surgery, for instance. And that gives us street credibility. So when we go to the Camden Health Scrutiny Committee, or we go to the PCT, they know that we actually are speaking for people out there in the street. So that's where our strength lies. We have had some success with the PCT. We closed down PCT meetings when they just wouldn't listen to us. At the moment, we're waiting to hear the results of a public inquiry, which is unprecedented, run by the Camden Health Scrutiny Committee here, into the mismanagement and eventual closure of a surgery here in Camden, where it so happens, coincidentally, I started my career 40 years ago, and which was run by a private company. This was a classic example of what's going to happen throughout the NHS. Private companies are going to come and go whenever they want, and the PCT did nothing about it. That's another story. But we had some success in making sure that the Camden Scrutiny Committee had a public inquiry, and we're going to have a lot of work to do over the next year, because the Camden Council and Scrutiny Committee are going to have quite strong powers over the clinical commissioning groups run by GPs, and we really want to set that up for next year so that we keep the CCGs online within the NHS. So local action is very important, but then we obviously need big meetings like next Saturday. So again, I'm pushing a meeting for next Saturday here. It's optimistically called Reclaiming Our NHS. Let's call it that and go for it. But just before I finish, I just wanted to say also how important it is, and one of our local branch and KOMP have been working very closely with trades unions, particularly the ones in the NHS. And that is really important. And how many of you know that the MA are actually on strike in 2 days' time? I never thought it would happen, although it did happen with junior doctors. Thank you. At last, I'm proud of my union, which I actually left many years ago in disgust, but rejoined again. But that's another story. But sadly, in Camden, only one practice is staging industrial action. It's dreadful. By that, and other practices will be doing this and the other. I'm lucky because it happens to be my practice where I'm registered as a patient, and I shall be going there all day to explain to patients that the difficulty, of course, is with the BMA is that the doctors, they're all people highly paid, what are they worried about? But we're going to make sure that we tell patients who come to the practice that this is all part of a much bigger issue about public service pension cuts right across the board and cuts in the NHS. So I shall be there in my practice, so I recommend all of you to go to your practices on Thursday and do something. Okay, and I'm just finishing, and So that comes back to this meeting on Saturday, and I'm very proud to say that people like Jackie Davis from the BMA and Claire Gerardo from the Royal College of GPs will be speaking. So do come and join us on Saturday. Thank you.